Hi, and welcome to Real Reviews. My name's Martin Carr, and today we're going to be talking about Loot, which is currently streaming on Apple TV and stars Maya Rudolph. Shall we get into it? So, Loot on Apple TV. It stars Maya Rudolph, who has been on Saturday Night Live for many years. She also played the judge in The Good Place. Her husband in this show is John Novak, played by Andrew Scott. Andrew Scott will be familiar to anyone again who has seen The Good Place, because he plays the devil who comes back up from the bad place to get the characters in the middle of season 2. He's a very distinct look to him. He's also been in Severance. He played the lead role in Severance, which is again an Apple TV show, executive produced and directed by Ben Stiller. They play John and Molly Novak, who are an uber rich tech billionaire couple. She is about to celebrate her 40th birthday, and she discovers that her husband has been having an affair with his assistant and she's now pregnant. So that's essentially the premise. That's the kicking off point for the entire show. Alan Yang, who was behind Park and Recreations and also on The Good Place for many years, spearheaded this particular project. To be honest, it's not the most engaging thing in the world. Again, it should have all these things going on. It has saving graces in some of its character actors who take on parts in the ensemble, but overall, it's about an overindulged, disconnected, uber-rich older lady who's divorced, who undergoes some form of epiphany in terms of finding out she has a foundation and helping out the homeless, and it just isn't very endearing as a premise. It doesn't leap out at you. It doesn't engage you particularly, but it looks really expensive. So the question is, I guess, is it any good? Let's get into that next. So I guess the answer to the question of whether or not Loot is any good is both a yes and a no. It's got incredibly high production values. You've got a split level mansion, you've got loads of glass, loads of marble, you've got colour-coded Lamborghinis, and you've got Maya Rudolph in the middle of all this having some sort of existential epiphany, where she feels, after having garnered this $87 billion fortune from the settlement, that she needs to go out and discover this foundation that has been set up in her name that she didn't know anything about, and it's about, most of the comedy comes from her inability to connect with, everyday life, and the jokes don't land, and she's really good. She's a great actress. I'm sure she's a great actress, but in this, it's just not working. You've got Joel Kim Booster, who I'd never heard of, but plays her assistant Nicholas, and he's really good when he's given the opportunity. You've got Nate Flaxon, who is Arthur, works in the Foundation offices, is some sort of impromptu love interest, but that doesn't happen for like almost 2.5 episodes, so you're looking at over 2 hours of TV. It could have been great, and the problem is that it's simply not, because somebody who's very rich, having these sort of life lessons learned and sort of and becoming a better person, it needs to happen more quickly. Character progression needs to happen more quickly. You need to want to care, and I think the primary issue with Loot isn't how it looks, but it's in the fact that it just doesn't hit the ground running quickly enough. And Andrew Scott he's not used enough. He needed to be on screen more. He needed to be more involved in this dramatically. And as a result of all these compounding factors, Loot isn't very good. And I don't want you wasting 2 hours of your life to find out that you don't want to carry on watching the show. So just avoid the show. Go and watch Severance. Go and watch like early SNL. Go and watch The Good Place. Do that. That's better. So there are better shows on Apple as well. There are better shows that you can watch. Foundation is one. The Morning Show, obviously. Mythic Quest is another. There are other things that you can do with your time. So yeah, that's it. Enough. Right. So that's it. Loot on Apple TV is streaming now. If you really want to go and watch it, you're more than welcome. My name's Martin Carr. This has been Real Reviews. If you like the video, like the video. If you want to subscribe, click the button. Make me a happy man. Until next time, take care. Cheers.